Here we go.
So we'll start with Coach and general comments. As you mentioned, Kevin will join us in a minute. He's finishing icing down. Coach, why don't you give an overview of tonight?
Yeah, well, I thought we played really hard again, and to play China twice in 3 days, it's they play really hard and they move. They got to be in such great condition. They just keep moving, and for our guys to try to defend that, that's really good. And then they do a couple things that are very good for us. They pressure the ball and they deny wing passes. So, I mean, our talent level is superior, but the fact that they play so hard against you, it makes you have a really good night. And, what we're trying to do is get into physical conditioning. Tonight, I think like the guys who played in that championship series, that's a drain. It's a real drain. And when you get through that, whether you win it or you lose it, you've gone 15 rounds. There's a recovery period emotionally, mentally, and certainly physically, and you have to get away from the game. And I think that part of this is just getting, especially Kyrie, for him to hit that shot and all that, and then the celebration afterwards. Yeah, this is good. He and Clay, we played them the most minutes tonight. You can see them kind of rounding into better playing shape, and that's our goal. Before we go down to Rio, is to do that. So, the score is relevant because the score is always relevant, but the margin of victory is not as relevant as much as the effort and the physical. Just going and trying to get in good physical shape. And we appreciate how hard and how well. I think China coaching, they're well coached, very well coached, and they're together. We're just better than they are.
Tim Cal, calling Mercury News. You obviously started the three Warriors players. I assume it's a nod to the home crowd. Did you like the way they responded, and specifically Durant? Did you notice him kind of embracing?
Well, I should probably start Durant.
Yeah, that one I could see. That one I could see.
Just after 40 years, I'll be able to figure that one out, I think. But no, what we've tried to do in each of the locations is start the guys from the area, DeMarcus at Sacramento, and the three guys here, and down in LA, the guys from there, and they did well. The crowd's great. Certainly you wouldn't want to be introduced after KD in line, so that was probably a little shocker. But no, the crowd was great, a festive atmosphere. But we're ready to move on. We're ready to go to Chicago. We leave. That's why I changed. We get on a plane in about 45 minutes and get there tomorrow and start going. But the crowd, the welcoming for Kevin was fantastic, and I know he appreciated it very much, and obviously I'll let him speak to it.
Harold Gutman with the Durham Herald Sun. You mentioned Kyrie. Obviously, last time he was here, he hit the big shot. What's it been like coaching him again? And I think you're actually probably coaching him more games, at least this summer, than you did when he was.
Yeah, not only now, but 2 years ago, he was MVP of the World Cup when we beat Serbia, and we have a great relationship, and I wish I could have coached him more at Duke. Even if it was one season, I would love to have it been a full season. Been pretty nice. My plays would work better. But Kyrie is very smart, and he fits in so well with all these guys. These guys are really good guys, and they have fun. We're having a little bit too much fun there for a little bit, but we got to tone that down. That's not what we want to be, but it's fine for a little bit tonight.
Ross Goldenwood, NBC Sports.
A couple of the guys were saying how much they feel they're being pushed in a good way on the defensive end.
Yeah.
I was curious, how does Coach Thibodeau establish himself in practice? What does he, especially with all these new guys?
Well,
what does he
I
start
wish you
with?
wouldn't give Coach Thibodeau the praise for that.
You
know,
too, Coach K.
No, it's Coach Boeheim.
Okay,
And
sure.
we tell them that if they don't play hard, they have to play zone. And no, we don't say that. And no, I think it's just a collective effort from everyone saying that the one thing that we should be able to do better than anyone is play defense. And other teams are going to be talented, really talented, and they can shoot the ball and score. But if we are collective in our defensive effort, which we have been for 3 games, then we're going to have a better chance to win. And, you know, that our guys know that. It's not a matter of pushing them, it's showing them on tape and telling them, because really we don't have that much time to practice. Like tomorrow we're not going to be able to practice. You get in at 5 in the morning. We'll just have some individual stuff for guys.
Why do you think the USA team should be able to play defense better than another squad?
Well, we're more athletic. You know, I'm not saying we're better, but 1 through 12, we have outstanding athleticism and size that where you can switch, you can really get after people, and then you have guys who can be rim protectors. So, I mean, that's the makeup of our team. We should be a better defensive team than an offensive team, although we have some outstanding scorers.
Rick Tittle with 95.7 The Game in San Francisco. China kind of matched you paint-wise offensively, but the real disparity was in fast break. Is that where you see you guys kind of separating yourself from the field?
Well, and 3-point shots, not so much just the fast break. In London, I think we made an average of 8.5 more threes than our opponents, and that was that and free throws. I think there was a 28-point differential in that. And our 2 leading scorers were KD and Carmelo in London. The international game is not so much a paint game. It's a lot of 3-point shots. I mean, Argentina, when we played the first game, half their shots are threes. You know, if you allowed 3-point shots, China would take a lot more of them. So our goal was to limit their threes, whoever we're playing, and limit free throws. So we're constantly yelling out team fouls. You know, that's because the 5th foul is two free throws. And you can have 5 guys out there not in foul trouble, but we're in the bonus. And then you put a sub in, he doesn't have a foul. And then he fouls, and all of a sudden they're scoring without pressure on them. And so that's been kind of what we've done in all these competitions, is try to limit threes, limit free throws, and win that battle.
Eddie Masonette with Yard Barker.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Eddie Mason.
I was looking at him, and I was saying he's either ventriloquist or what the hell's happened, because I heard somebody. It's very deceptive.
Sure.
It's part of being 69 too, I think. Just the fact that I can actually know where the voice is coming from.
You're 69 years old. You guys pulled out one tonight against China. If the basketball thing doesn't work out, had you ever thought about ever dreaming as a kid to play or coach another sport outside of basketball, and what sport would that be?
No, I've always, to be quite frank, all kidding aside, since I was 16 years old, I knew I wanted to be a basketball coach. Even though I went to West Point, I learned about leadership, but I'm living my dream my entire life. My buddies back in inner city Chicago say that I've never worked a day in my life, because I've always been doing what I want to do. I love coaching. I love being with, the development of teams. So I try to do that for a little bit longer.
Coach, you've been around Durant a little bit. Did
Yeah.
you notice a little more excitement with the circumstances tonight than usual?
A little bit more, but he has been very vocal. I've coached him twice, and then a third time he was on he almost made the Beijing team with the select team. So we have a great relationship, and he continues to grow and get better. To be quite frank with you, the best thing that I see improvement with him in is defense. He has really become an outstanding defender. And if we can get him to stop reaching at the end of a clock, then that would be even better. But he keeps improving because he wants to improve. Yeah, he loves, he's not a kid, but for me, is. He really loves the game of basketball. And being one of the best players in the world, he's easy to play with. He has this super ego. He's got such a good team ego. He's really a fantastic guy and a fantastic player. What a combination when you have a guy that good and he's no maintenance. I mean, none except having too much fun at the end. I know. You want me to dance now or what? I mean, I don't know what the hell to do with.
Now you mentioned too much fun. Was that in part the DeRozan attempt on a 360? Is that what you're saying?
Again, we have a lot of fun as a team. We are a very close team, and they're good guys. So it was not meant in any disrespect, but the crowd was festive, and kind of a special night. So, but we'll tone that down a little bit.
Leo Bias, Cowboy Kingdom. What did you think of DeMarcus' overall performance tonight? And are you more comfortable starting Cousins or DJ?
No, we'll start either one of them, and I'm comfortable starting either one. DeMarcus is another guy. This is the second time I've coached him. He helped us win the World Cup, double-double in the championship game, and he's gotten himself in really good shape. He's a team player. Gives us a different guy than DeAndre. They're two really good bigs, outstanding bigs. And today, for a little bit, we went inside to him. And, we haven't had a chance to practice much. When we're in Chicago on Thursday, we'll have a good practice and try to get a little bit more in offensively so we flow a little bit smoother than some of the times tonight. Yeah.
Dave Del Grande, USAB.com. You mentioned the challenges that the Chinese defense gave for you guys.
Yeah.
You got two different opponents coming up that you haven't seen. Do you expect different challenges in those games, and do you kind of look forward to different challenges?
Yeah, well, looking forward to playing different people and different styles, more so than challenges. They're different styles. And I think coming into this, I would have not thought that Argentina and China would pressure us. Like they pressure our guards. Like in the NBA, you don't get, you bring it up. And so I think it's good, just in case anybody does that, because you just got to get accustomed to it. I don't think there's much denial of passes in a 48-minute game, an NBA game. So those two things that I would not have expected, but they happened. And I think it was good for us. And we'll see what Venezuela does, and then Nigeria. And then we're off to Rio.
This is Yanxing from Ali Sports China. I guess this is a follow-up question to the
what?
previous one. I guess this is a follow-up question to the
Okay.
previous one. Without the leader of the team, Yi Jianlian, China
Yeah.
made some adjustments today. They changed the core rotation. They changed the lineup. What are some of the positives you've observed from this change?
Well, first of all, for them to continue to play hard without their best player. Like he had a really good game against us 2 nights ago. And they were still confident, and they played hard. They played hard and together, and they had so much good movement on their offense. Where Yi is a guy that at the end of a clock can make a play for them, and because he's a really good player. They didn't have that tonight, and so sometimes at the end of the clock, it didn't go as well for him. But he'll come back, I'm sure, right? I mean, he'll be back, and they'll benefit from playing this. I think they go right to Brazil from here, so they'll have a chance to acclimate themselves.
Coach, it was pointed out that you're funny.
I'm funny. Funny looking, or
No, in humor.
did you get the second word there?
And exactly, and
Exactly that I am funny. Look,
No, the joke was. Okay.
I thought my 3 daughters were the only women allowed to insult me.
Let's start over.
So we're going to have a divorce here real quick. All right.
That you have a good sense of humor, and I was
Right.
wondering how humor became a part of your style, and then on the biggest stage, the Olympics with pro athletes, how that works out.
No, again, I don't show it on the sidelines or anything like that, but my guys, we have a good time, and they know that they can be themselves. And the use of humor at times to get a point across is really good, or to give a guy a little jab, at a timeout or whatever is good, and it gets us close, and it makes them know me better, And although I have 6 of the guys I've coached before, so they already know, but the other guys, it's called adapting, and they should not all adapt to me, or the rest of the coaching staff. We need to adapt to them also, and so that this whole thing becomes ours, and if we take ownership of it, then we got a better chance to win. And the other teams will own what they do. We need to own what we do. We spend a lot of time with the military. We had one really emotional day in Vegas with a wounded warrior, and then our team is taken on being a supporter of TAPS, Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, and these are kids who lost their fathers or mothers in combat, and we had an emotional thing in Vegas. We had TAPS kids in LA on Thursday after our practice. Marty Dempsey, the former chair of the Joint Chiefs, will be at our practice, and we'll have about 60 members of the TAPS families from around the country, and have a special thing there and a chance to break bread with them. So stuff like that. We believe in having our guys. They see and they listen, and we won't own it unless we feel it. What it's like to play for our country. So in doing these things over the years, our guys do feel it, and they're really proud of representing their country. Okay, I'm going to do an impersonation of KD, right? Imagine I'm great, and I'm 7 feet tall, and I can do anything. All right, you can't imagine that. So why don't you wait for him, and I'm going to get the heck out of here. All right, thank you. All right.